See, I'm playing the Trump card. Right? So, this week, President Trump, in one of his famous early morning tweets, brought up the issue of Watergate. He said, "How low has President Obama gone to tap my phones during the very sacred election process? This is Nixon/Watergate. Bad or sick guy?" Now, was this a wise thing for him to do? I was studying American politics at university at the time of Watergate. We abandoned the course and just studied the scandal as it unfolded. The similarities between Watergate and Russiagate are already there to be seen. Trump's national security advisor, Michael Flynn, has already resigned after transcripts of intercepted phone calls revealed he had misled, even lied to, the vice president over links to Russia. His Attorney General, Jeff Sessions, has recused himself from investigations into Russian interference in the election after being accused of lying under oath about meetings with the Russian ambassador. The questions now are, how much did the president know? Is there a cover-up? And if so, who's involved?
Well, of course, you would love it to be Watergate, as would you. I could hear you cheering, June, for this, cheering along at Greg's assertion.
Yeah, it was brilliant.
Clearly, you have a...
I didn't say it was Watergate. I said...
Could be.
It could be.
It would all come... And obviously, if you studied it, you're closer. But just to remind the viewers, that was a pretty straightforward story. The president authorised that illegal activity, and he was in full...
Well, it wasn't that straightforward.
No,
it took a very long time.
Well, no, I know, it took a long time.
It took a long time. By the end... You found that out.
Yeah,
you didn't know that at the beginning.
Aren't you making a quantum leap, assuming that Trump knows as much as you think he might?
I'm saying that's what we don't know.
Right.
And what happened with Watergate is week by week, month by month, it trickled out.
Yes.
Until in the end, of course, there was the famous Mr. Butterfield. I mean, I'm a bore on Watergate.
Right. Okay.
Deep throat.
Deep
throat.
It wasn't so much deep throat. It was Butterfield who told him there was a recording system in the White House, and that's what brought Nixon down. All I'm saying is that there are all sorts of inquiries, congressional inquiries now going on that could, week by week, month by month, bring out a lot of evidence. And if Trump was involved in all this during the campaign, then I think he's in deep trouble.
When you say involved in it precisely in what?
Well, if you look at the campaign, he...
Can I just take us back a step? Because given that it's your specialist subject.
Yes.
Can you just give us a 30-second overview
of Watergate?
30 seconds.
Oh, my God.
My clock starts now, please.
Go.
Well, it's quite hard.
You've had 10 seconds already, haven't you?
All right, Watergate was basically two Washington Post journalists sat in court and followed up a small story of court which was about some guys who had burgled the Democratic Party headquarters. Roll on 2 years almost. They were Woodward and Bernstein, now famous. Roll on 2 years, the president resigned because it was shown that he knew about the burglary, but more than that, he then sanctioned the cover-up, which was massive. So that was the story. And in the end, he had to resign over in between...
And it was the cover-up even more than the burglary.
Yeah, but in between, all sorts of things happened. I mean, he had a special prosecutor who he sacked. He had all sorts of things.
He was impeached, wasn't he, in the end?
Yeah. No, he wasn't impeached. He would have been impeached, but he
Yeah.
resigned. All I'm saying is, if you look at the Russia story as it sits today, there is clearly a lot more to come out. Now, it might actually prove that Trump knew nothing about it. But remember back to the election campaign, he was talking about Putin and how much he admired Putin all through that campaign. Why?
Yeah.
Why? That's the question you want to answer.
But Nick's question to Greg was, what was the Russian contact with Trump that could bring back down his downfall? You know, what will it actually take to bring
I think
the president down?
If you could show that the
he knew
would-be president of the United States was in contact with the Russians, and the Russians at the same time were interfering with the democratic process in the United States.
They did hack Podesta's emails.
There's no doubt they
leaked a lot of that.
emails.
All I'm saying,
so we know already.
But can I just
find out he killed the Easter Bunny as well. This is so far-fetched.
Well, Nick, can I just add to it? I think the thing with this whole Russia scandal, and I'm 100% with you, Greg.
Oh, there's a surprise.
is there's no smoke without fire. You know,
there often is, actually. But
well,
go on.
No, not in this case. Why would the Attorney General lie under oath?
Well, there's an interesting
Okay.
clip. Let's have a look at Sessions as the Attorney General, what he actually said.
If there is any evidence that anyone affiliated with the Trump campaign communicated with the Russian government in the course of this campaign, what will you do?
I'm not aware of any of those activities. I have been called a surrogate at a time or two in that campaign, and I not have communications with the Russians.
And then it turns out he met them twice.
Yes.
I mean, why would you lie about that under oath when you are supposed to be the cop of all cops? You're the Attorney General.
And just to underscore that, let's see the explanation from the Attorney General.
It's a joke.
I was taken aback a little bit about this brand new information, this allegation that surrogates, and I had been called a surrogate for Donald Trump, had been meeting continuously with Russian officials. Retrospect, if I should have slowed down and said, but I did meet one Russian official a couple of times. That would be the ambassador.
June, it's totally wrong to say there's no smoke. No.
Nick,
hang on. There have been a load of celebrities who've been dragged before the courts where absolutely nothing has happened. Their lives have been destroyed.
Celebrities,
there was
not
no
the Attorney
smoke.
General.
So there's no smoke without
Attorney General.
Just listen. You
Go
say
on.
there's no smoke without fire. I could bring you half a dozen broadcasters where there was absolutely no fire and there was a lot of smoke and they're not even working anymore. So you can stop with that nonsense. You two are engaged in some political debating society dream that Trump will be top. It's not going to happen.
Nick, you would have said that about Nixon all the way through the... Because if you've been alive, someone of your political persuasion who would have supported
Nick, what
Nixon...
about when Trump reacted to that?
Look at you.
With a lie about President Obama.
Trump reacted to that by what did he do then? He accused Obama of
no
wiretapping
evidence.
with an extra P his own contacts.
With zero evidence.
And we
to try
He was
and
probably taking the
no,
P.
to try and
what's
change
going on
the
is
agenda.
they're trying to swirl it,
Yeah.
the fake news around so much that nobody can see the light or see
Nick,
anything.
Back to the point on the Attorney General. I'm sorry, there is no smoke without fire, because why is it on that whole the session, the Senate's hearing session, they did not ask him, did you meet the Russians? They said, what would you do if you found out that members of the... And then he volunteered himself to say, I've never met the Russians.
Nick,
and then it turns out he's lying. Why would you lie?
Over the next 6 months...
If you've got nothing to hide.
Or next 9 months, we will see.
We will. And
You might be right,
but
you don't know. All I'm saying is there are suspicions there that need to be that will be investigated.
I feel a little bit like every single day I'm waking up, there's more and more and more complexities. There are people spending their lives actively trying to bring President Trump down, trying to find stuff, trying to do this. And do you know what I hope? I don't know what's going on. And I think, as you said, time will tell what's going on. But do you know what I think? Whenever I think about President Trump, I look at the people that have voted for him and how much belief they had in him and how much desire they have for him to do the right thing by them. And it makes me, I just look at him and I am willing him to do the right thing and to be the best president because those people regard him as their last hope.
Well,
they do.
He's shown them what he thinks about them with the new Trump care.
Yeah,
completely ignored them.
What did you sigh when Michelle was saying that?
Because it just
I didn't know you worked in Milwaukee and you now work steel worker. Sorry, when did that happen?
No,
she's talking about the people who believe in
I know,
him.
and I feel very
And he's
sorry for
shown
the
them what
third
he
of
thinks of
America,
them.
the third of America who showed themselves so deluded as to have voted this man into office.
You would know better
this
than
man
72
who is
million, wouldn't you?
Dangerous.
72 million
No,
wrong.
62
million.
62.
Oh, so you would know better than 62 million, wouldn't you?
Well, maybe
extraordinary
they're
influence.
finding out.
Well,
I
65
think they
million
were
voted for Hillary. and
idiots
didn't
to vote him in. Yes, I do, Nick. I've said it before and I'll continue to say it until there's any evidence to the
And you don't think that's a
contrary.
little bit snooty?
No, I think
I
your
don't
point
care
is...
what you say.
Yes,
it's far more important I'm snooty
Your point
than
is
they're
right. A lot of
deceived.
people voted for him out of desperation.
And he's throwing them under the bus.
Now, we don't know yet. It's too early to say that.
Trump care.
It will be interesting to see if that still works in Milwaukee, that you refer to, is open in 5 years' time.
There you go.
If it's reopened. Because I don't believe it will be.